Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do this really cute thong in small, medium, and large. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Please also like my video and don't forget to comment. So today I did get a request a little while back from Natasha Molel. I hope I said your name right. If I didn't, I apologize. I do really enjoy getting requests because that way I know what it is you all want to learn, and I really very much appreciate feedback because that helps me get better and helps me know what videos to make for you guys and how to do explanations better. So I appreciate everybody for your comments and requests and everything like that. So thank you so much. And today for this thong we are using, I'm using Lily Sugar and Cream and the color Ecru. It's like a really cute cream, basic cream color. Any worsted weight yarn should work. And then I'm using my trusted 4mm G-hook, a pair of scissors, and a measuring tape. So let's get started. Okay, so the beginning of this tutorial is the same for a small, a medium, and a large, and I will point out where the differences are. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is make our slip knot. And then we're going to make 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and then we're going to do one more chain for our turning chain, and this will be the only turning chain that we're going to do for the entire video. Okay, so next we're going to skip this first chain here and go into the second chain from the hook and do one single crochet. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops on the hook. Okay, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops on the hook. And we're going to do that all the way down. Okay, so now we have 10 single crochets. Now we're going to turn our work with no turning chain. We're going to continue on with single crochets all the way down this row as well. So that'll be 10 more single crochets. And always remember to get your last chain there at the end. Okay, now now we have 2 rows of 10 single crochets. So go ahead and turn your work, and now we're going to start on our decreases. So in order to decrease without a turning chain, go straight into the first chain space, pull up a loop, go into the second chain space and pull up another loop, and now you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. So you see we just turned 2 single crochets from the row below into 1. Okay, and from here what we're going to do is single crochet, do 6 single crochets all the way down, 1 in each chain space. That's 4. No, that's 5 and that's 6. Okay, and now we're going to do one more decrease in the last 2 chain spaces of this row. So go ahead and insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert into the last chain space there, okay, and pull up another loop. So now you should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And now here you should have 8 single crochets in this row. Go ahead and turn your work, and we're going to go back down this row with just plain single crochets. 8 plain single crochets, 1 in every chain space. Okay, go ahead, turn your work, and without doing a turning chain, we're going to do our next decrease. So we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, insert into the next chain space, pull up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Then we're going to do 4 single crochets in the middle, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to do our next decrease in these last 2 chain spaces. So now we should have 6 single crochets in this row. Go ahead and turn your work, and we're going to go back along this row with just plain single crochets. Three, 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead and turn your work, and we're going to do another decrease so that we'll have 4 single crochets in this row. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert into the next chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3, and then we'll do 2 plain single crochets in the middle, 1 and 2. And now we're going to go ahead and decrease on our last 2 stitches. And now we have 4 single crochets. Go ahead and turn your work, and we're going to do 4 plain single crochets across this row. Okay, go ahead, turn your work, And now we're going to do 2 decreases. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert into the next chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3, and do that one more time in the last 2 stitches. So now we're going to have just 2 chain spaces here. Okay? So from here, what we're going to do is just 2 single crochets, 2 plain single crochets in each stitch. Okay, so insert your hook, pull up a loop, and single crochet. And do that in the second stitch, and single crochet. We're going to go ahead and turn our work and repeat. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, and single crochet, insert your hook, the next chain space, pull up a loop, and single crochet. Go ahead and turn your work, and we're going to repeat that again. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, and single crochet. Insert your hook into the next space, pull up a loop, and single crochet. Okay, go ahead and turn your work, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and single crochet. Insert your hook and pull up a loop, single crochet. So when I lay this flat, this is where we're going to change our sizing. Okay, so when I lay this flat, for a size small, right now we're at about 3 inches. A size small, we're going to want to continue these rows of 2 single crochets until we reach about 6 inches. If you are a medium, you're going to want to do about 6.5 to 7 inches. If you're a size large, you're going to want to go to 7.5 to 8 inches. So go ahead and continue your rows of 2 single crochets until you reach the desired length that you would like, and I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so for my size small, I have 6 inches done here. Usually when I do a size small, I do 14 inches total in length, but I wanted to stop a little early because this is kind of where your goodie part area begins and you need more coverage here. You can't just have a string right there. So for a size medium, it's usually 15 to 16 inches. So when you stop halfway, that's 7.5. So you kind of want to do maybe like 6.5 of these. You want to make sure this part so far is at least 6.5 inches. And a large is, you know, like 16 to 17, maybe even 17.5 inches. So whatever you do, like measure your crotch area, cut it in half, and then kind of stop like 1 inch before, and then we're going to start our increases right here. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so go ahead and turn your work. And what we're going to do is start increasing. So we're going to put 2 single crochets in this first chain space here. Okay, 1 and 2, and then we're going to put 2 more single crochets into the next chain space. So now you should have four single crochets in this row. Go ahead and turn your work. And what we're going to do next is put 3 more rows. Yeah, 3 more rows of 4 single crochets. So just do 4 single crochets in this row. 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead, turn your work. And now we're going to do 4 more single crochets all the way across. And then we're going to turn our work and do 1 more row just like that. Okay, go ahead and turn your work. And now we're going to increase again. So we're going to put 2 single crochets into this first chain space. Okay, and we're going to do 2 regular single crochets in the middle. 1 and 2. And in the last chain space, we're going to do another increase, so put 2 single crochets into that one. Go ahead and turn your work. And so far, this is still the same for all 3 sizes. And what we're going to do now is, like we did before with the rows of 4, we're going to do, so now you should have 6 single crochets here. We're going to do 3 rows of 6 single crochets. So go ahead and turn your work and do 2 more rows of 6 single crochets, and I'll meet you there. Alright, I finished my 3 rows of 6 single crochets, so go ahead and turn your work. And now we're going to do another increase here. We're going to put 2 single crochets in the first chain space. And then we're going to put 4 single crochets in the middle. 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to put 2 more single crochets at the end for 1 more increase. Okay, and now you should have 8 single crochets here. Go ahead and turn your work. And now we're going to do 3 rows of 8 single crochets, just like we did with the other numbers. So go ahead and make your 3 rows of 8 single crochets, and I will meet you there and show you what to do after that. Alright, so now I finished my 3 rows of regular 8 single crochets. Go ahead and turn your work, and we're going to increase again here. So put 2 single crochets into the first chain space, and then go ahead and do single crochets in the middle. should be 6 of those. And then in the last chain space, we're going to increase again. So now you should have 10 single crochets here. Go ahead and turn your work and do 3 more rows of 10 single crochets, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I have finished my 3 rows of 10 regular single crochets. So go ahead and turn your work, and we're going to do the same thing 2 more times. So you're going to increase in this row once in the first chain space and once in the last chain space, and regular single crochets in the middle. So you will have 12 single crochets in this next row. Then you're going to do 3 more rows of 12 single crochets, and you're going to repeat this 1 more time for 14. So you'll increase 1 more time to 14, and then do 3 more rows of 14 regular single crochets. And once you're done with that, I'll show you what's coming up next, which is a variance for the sizes. Okay, so I have finished my 3 rows of 12 double crochets, and then a row of 14, an increase, and then 3 more rows of 14 double crochets. Okay, so now from here, this is where it changes a little bit. This next row is the same for everyone, but the row after is different. So this row we're going to increase again, so put 2 double crochets into this first chain space, okay, and then go on down with regular single crochets. I believe there should be 14 of these. Single crochets there, and then in the last chain space we're going to go ahead and increase, so put 2 in that last one, and now you should have 16 single crochets in this row. Okay, so from here, if you are a size small, what you're going to do in this next row is just do 16 regular single crochets. If you are a medium or a large, you're going to do 16 single crochets, but you're going to do 2 rows of that. Okay, so if you're a size small, you do 1 row of 16, and if you're large, you do 2 rows. Okay, so go ahead and do the rows for your size, and I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I finished my 1 row, because this is a size small, 1 row of 16 single crochets. If you're a medium or a large, you should have done 2 rows of this. Okay, so go ahead and turn your work. And this pattern is kind of going to repeat with the increases. Okay, so we're going to put 2 single crochets into the first chain space, and then go all the way down the row with single crochets. In this row it should be 16 regular single crochets, and then we'll do an increase in this last stitch here, so put 2 single crochets there. And now you should have 18 single crochets in this row. Okay, go ahead and turn your work. And if you are a size small, you're going to do 1 row of 18 single crochets. And if you're a size medium or a size large, you're going to do 2 rows. Okay, so go ahead and complete your rows and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so for a size small, I completed 1 row of plain 18 single crochets. And if you are a medium or a large, you should have done 2. And we're going to repeat this process 2 more times. Okay, so in this next row, we're going to do an increase on both sides, 1 in the first chain space, put 2 here, and then put 2 in the last one, and do regular in the middle. So you will have 20 single crochets in this row. If you're a size small, you're going to do, in the following row, you're going to do 20 single crochets 1 time in 1 row. And if you're a medium or a large, you will do that in 2 rows. And then we'll do that 1 more time with 22. So then you'll increase 1 more time in the first and second chain spaces. And then if you're a size small, you'll do 1 row of 22 single crochets, and medium and large will do 2 rows of 22 single crochets. Okay, and so go ahead and complete that, and I'll show you the next step where the sizes kind of change again. All right, so I finished my last row of 22 single crochets, and now it's going to change a little bit for the sizes. Okay, so go ahead and turn your work. The only difference now that's going to change is the size medium. The medium is now going to kind of act like similar to how the small is. Okay, so go ahead and do 2 single crochets in your first chain space to make your increase. Okay, so 2 single crochets in the first chain space for an increase, and then do single crochets down the row. And in your last chain space here, we're going to increase again. So we'll put 2 single crochets in that last chain space. And you should have 24 single crochets in this row. Okay, so go ahead and turn your work. And what's changing here is that if you are a size small or a size medium, you're only going to do 1 row of 24. Okay, if you're a size large, you're going to continue doing the 2 more rows of 24. And so this repeats from here on out, the medium is going to act like a small from here on out, and this is going to repeat until you complete the increase to get to 28. So this one's 24, so you need to do one extra row here or two extra rows here. Then you're going to increase one more time, and then you'll have 26. Increase on both sides, so you'll have 26, and then you'll do your 1 to 2 extra rows there, and then you'll increase one last time and you'll have 28, and then you'll do your 1 to 2 rows there. So just remember, from here on out, the mediums only do 1 row as well as the small, and the large is going to do 2 rows. Please feel free to write ask me any questions if you like. I'll try to write a description too. I just wanted to keep the video a little bit shorter instead of showing. It's pretty repetitive, so just let me know if you have any questions, and once you get done with your last row of 28, I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so once you finish your either 1 or 2 rows of 28 single crochets, before you cut and tie off, you want to just measure it and make sure that it's the measurement that you were aiming for. So I originally wanted 14, and I am just at 14. I'm a little tad over, but that is perfect for me. So once you're there, go ahead and tie off. So chain 1 and go ahead and cut your yarn. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to weave my ends in, and I just want to show you how I do it, since this is a beginner video. If you don't want to know this part, don't watch it. You can skip through this part. But I normally, whatever hook size I was using, I normally go a hook size down. So I was using a G hook, and now I'm going to use an F hook. Some people like to do the tapestry needle. I use that sometimes, but to me this is way faster. It's just my preference. So go ahead and weave in how you know how, but to do it this way, I just put my hook in somewhere nearby the string. It really does not matter where, just anywhere nearby, and go ahead and weave it through. And I just continue. So once you weave it through, you go in from the other side, somewhere nearby, but not the same spot, and just weave it through. Okay. So you can just continue doing that. Like, you can go all the way down the edge, you can bring it in the middle, like just anywhere nearby is fine. And just continue to do that. You're only going to do it, do this a good 10 to 20 times, just until you feel good about it being secure. I kind of normally do like random patterns. I don't go the same way every time. I just kind of go wherever. And just weave it back and forth. And then you're gonna have to pick which side that you want to be the inside versus the outside. So I'm gonna pick this to be my inside. This is weaved in pretty good. I'm gonna do it 2 more times. Okay, and once you kind of got it on the side that you want it to be on the inside, I normally just like pick a really small spot to kind of go on. I try to pick like one little yarn stitch and get in there very close to where the stitch is or where the tail is, and I just go in there, and then I'll pull up a loop, and instead of pulling it all the way through, I'll yarn over and like kind of tie off, but it's like on the inside now, so you'll have a small knot, but it's on the inside. And you can actually do that like 2 or 3 times nearby, and that will never ever come out. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that part, and then let's move along to the strings. Whoops, hit the camera. So as far as the strings, I know that Natasha, you had requested without strings, but the only way I know how to do that is with elastic, and that is not beginner friendly at all. So I did find an easier way for the strings to be attached. Okay, so just go ahead and make your slip knot. Oh, get my G-hook back. Go ahead and make your slip knot, and we're going to make a chain. If you are a size small, I would probably do 175 chains. If you're a medium or large, I would at least do 200 chains, and you can always go longer than that. Okay, so go ahead and chain out your 175 to 200 or more chains. Just chain them on out, and I'll show you what to do after that. So I've made my 2 chains of 175. If you're a large or medium, you might want to do 200. Okay, and I went ahead and lined them up and kind of cut this evenly so that it's a little neater. They're all pretty much the same length, just so it's a little bit neater. So after you cut your strings, you go ahead and make sure that you have your inside and your outside. So go ahead and fold it like you would if this was the outside. Okay, make sure that's facing on the outside, and we're just gonna weave these strings in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from the outside to the inside with our hook, and you want to find your cornermost stitch and go in that hole there. Okay, then you're going to take one of your strings and wrap it around the hook and kind of hold it with your finger and pull it through. Okay, from there you can kind of pull the entire string through that way. Okay, on the same thing with the other side, we're going to go from the outside to the inside and find your cornermost stitch. Okay, take the other end of the same string and wrap it around your hook and pull it through. Okay, and then from there just pull the string on through like that. Okay, and so you're going to repeat that for the other side. Do the same thing with the other string. And so this is going to be around your hip, but then you tie it on the one side. So it's kind of like a double string, but it's adjustable. It's super easy to put on. The string is easy to make, and I just thought that would be a little more beginner friendly than without any strings at all. So go ahead and put your other string on, and we're finished. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.